Hey there, and welcome to the Liberty Mundo channel. If you've ever thought about starting a new life abroad, or at least escaping for a while, then you're in the right place. We're going to talk about a surprisingly simple destination where you can enter with minimal hassle and enjoy a refreshing new lifestyle: the country of Georgia. Located in the Caucasus region at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, Georgia is quickly becoming a hotspot for adventurers, remote workers, and retirees alike. First, let's set the stage. Think about all the times you've researched countries to move to, only to be overwhelmed by complicated visa requirements or endless paperwork. It can be enough to make you give up before you even start. But Georgia flips that script in the best way possible. Citizens from over 95 countries, ranging from the US and the UK to Australia, Canada, and plenty more, can stroll through Georgian immigration and receive a one-year visa-free entry stamp. That's right. No lengthy applications, no forms, no proof of onward travel. Just show your passport and you're set for a year. Now, this stamp isn't just for tourism. It's an actual entry stamp that allows you to stay, live, and even work in Georgia for up to 12 months. Better yet, if you leave and then come back, the clock resets, granting you another year. Imagine the peace of mind that comes with knowing you can settle in, enjoy the low cost of living, and get a feel for whether Georgia suits you, without scrambling to renew a visa every 90 days. Plus, people keep telling stories about how friendly and laid-back Georgian border control agents are. Some even say they've been offered wine upon arrival, which is no shock in a country famous for its ancient winemaking tradition. Alright, so you might ask, if you can easily get a one-year stamp, why bother with any other formalities? That's a fair question, but there are good reasons to look into longer-term residency. For starters, relying on repeatedly exiting and re-entering can be risky. We saw this big time during the pandemic when borders closed at a moment's notice. Having an actual residency permit means you're secure no matter what happens. On top of that, Georgia's visa-free program might not stay this flexible forever. Over time, laws can tighten, and you might not want to get caught off guard if the rules change. If you're thinking long-term, you'll also want to plan for permanent residency or even citizenship. Georgia offers a path to that, typically after 10 years of uninterrupted residency, although there are ways to speed that up with investments or certain other conditions. Plus, let's not forget about taxes, particularly if you're from a country that doesn't have a double taxation agreement with Georgia, such as the United States, Australia, or South Africa. Showing that you're a legal resident in Georgia can help you qualify for special tax benefits and limit your tax obligations elsewhere. Next, let's explore the most common ways to become a resident of Georgia. The first route is through work or business. If you land a job with a Georgian company, you'll usually need to prove a steady salary that's above a specific threshold. Right now, it's about 5 times the local subsistence minimum, or roughly 900 Georgian lari per month. That's just over $300. Alternatively, you can start your own business, whether that's a limited liability company or as a sole proprietor. If you have enough turnover, at least 50,000 Georgian lari, that's just over $15,000 a year per foreign applicant, it can open the door to a work residence permit. This figure is lower if you're in the medical or educational sector. The key detail is showing you can support yourself and that your business is legit. Another route is through real estate investment. If you buy non-agricultural property worth more than $100,000, you're eligible for what's sometimes called a short-term residence permit. It's a neat option if you plan on putting down roots and you'd rather invest your money in property than worry about monthly rent. Just remember that the property value must be confirmed by a licensed appraiser. Once your investment is verified, it's a pretty smooth process to apply for residency. For bigger investors, there's an investment residence permit that requires a minimum of $300,000. The big draw here is that you skip straight to a 5-year permanent residency for yourself, your spouse, and your children. After those 5 years, you can generally hold on to that status long-term if you meet all the conditions. So if you have the capital and you're certain Georgia is for you, this path could be ideal. Of course, if you have close family ties in Georgia, say you're married to a citizen, or you're the child of someone who already has residence, you can apply for a family reunification permit. You'll need to provide proof of that relationship and demonstrate that you have enough resources to live in Georgia. Beyond these main categories, Georgia also has other permits for special circumstances, like victims of domestic violence or human trafficking, as well as students studying in the country. Each permit comes with its own set of documents and requirements, so definitely do your research or consult with professionals if you think you qualify for a more specialized permit. Whatever path you choose, the application process in Georgia generally isn't too complicated. You'll gather the required documents, which may need to be officially translated into Georgian, and submit them at the Public Service Hall. Processing times usually range between 10 and 30 days. Keep in mind that if you're renewing an existing permit, sometimes you can even do it online. If you're nervous about messing up any step, consider reaching out to experts who specialize in Georgia's residency rules. So why is Georgia gaining so much buzz as an expat haven? It offers a great combination of relatively simple residency requirements, low taxes, and a cost of living that tends to be much cheaper than in Western countries. Tbilisi, the capital, has a growing community of digital nomads, entrepreneurs, and international families, which means you'll have no trouble finding a network of like-minded people. Plus, it's a country steeped in history and famous for its stunning mountain landscapes, delicious wine, and warm, welcoming culture. All of this has turned Georgia into one of the easiest places on the planet to make a fresh start, whether you're looking to stay for a year or put down deeper roots. If you've been itching for a change but have always found the paperwork and bureaucracy overwhelming, Georgia might just be your ideal solution. I hope this guide has given you a clear picture of why Georgia is so appealing and how to make your move happen. If you have any questions, be sure to get in touch with the team at Liberty Mundo to help you get started.